Okay, as we all arrive here in this moment together, let us just gently become aware of ourselves in this now, allowing breath to bring us deeper into the body, allowing breath to carry out anything that is not needed for the perfect expression of this now, and allowing breath to draw in all that is needed to nurture our loving intention as we have come here together with warm curiosity about each other, and particularly about our beloved Paulette Rees-Denis. And so, knowing that love is the foundation of this gathering, I know that all is well. I know that all that needs to be spoken will be spoken. All that needs to be heard will be heard. And all that needs to be felt and expressed will flow forth with ease and grace, and that it is all gently, gently held within that one great universal consciousness, which has called us here today with this loving intention for deep, meaningful, truthful, and vulnerable connection, linked to one, each to each, and all to all. And knowing this, I know that all is well. And I give thanks for it just as it is, and as it is becoming. And so it is.
So it is. Oh my gosh, I'm going to cry now. All right.
Good.
That was
Wonderful.
beautiful. That
We
was
love
so
tears.
beautiful. I have to say hello, everybody out there in our interview land, in our heart and hustle land, in our lively conversation land. I'm so excited to be present today, present this afternoon with this glorious woman who I've had the pleasure of reconnecting with. We had a beautiful connection 40 years ago. 40 years ago.
Yes, say that out loud.
Did it seem like yesterday? And we lived down the street from each other in San Francisco. And hello, I'm Paulette Rees-Denis, and this is Samantha White. We should introduce ourselves. Just the pleasure of connection, the pleasure of conversation, the pleasure of curiosity is so gorgeous and so deep and so important.
Yes.
That we connect with each other, not just with, small chit chat, but with deep conversation. And so what has brought us here today, and I'll let Samantha talk to you a little bit about that, has been a lot of these conversations that I've been able to have with lots of, look at me, I'm crying, lots of beautiful healers and movers and shakers, which is what Heart and Hustle is about. People who are creating change in the world, people who are living deep lives, people who are chasing their dreams, people who are sharing vulnerability, living real. I don't know. You want to continue on that conversation, honey?
I do. And what I want to start with is kind of jumping off of what you had said, that the reason that I'm here is because I have enjoyed watching so many of your interviews with these powerful women who are so generously speaking about how they have come to be more of who they are. And so much more that they also have the space to give that away to others. And that's something that I've seen about you from back in the day, that you have always consistently been someone who was generous of spirit.
Mm.
And in the absence of our contact through the years, I thought about you so often and was delighted to see how you have expanded on all of the things that I knew of you: creative, generous, ferociously advocating for creativity for everyone, and consistently believing that everyone has in them that ability to be creative, to be expressive, to be more,
Mhm.
to have more than enough, and to know that they are more than enough. And so, one of the things that I thought was so marvelous was how you have managed to focus that in the way that you have. And as I watched these interviews that you did with these wonderful women and saw
And
how
a few guys.
I haven't seen, I just watched the ones
There's
with the
only
girls. I'll be real. I just watched the ones with the girls. Um, um, I, I, I thought, gosh, I, I, I'd like to see an interview with Paulette. I have all this curiosity about how you got from where you were when I knew you closely 40 years ago, and how you got here, being a leader, being a global teacher, a life coach, a creator of art on every level, a writer, a published writer. What is it, 3 books now?
Four.
Four. Okay, I'm one behind. So 4 books now. And I have so much curiosity. And, we could talk for 12 hours
I
about
know
this,
we could.
just catching up. But uh, instead of doing that, what I'd like to do with you is take this wonderful focus that you have: movement,
Mm.
momentum, magic. And I'd like to have a conversation with you about each of those concepts and how that arose in you and how you apply that to your championship of women,
Mm.
how you help others find their relationship to movement, momentum, and magic.
Oh, which is my coaching philosophy. And wow, thank you. That was beautiful. Um, so talking about movement, well, and
Movement.
so Samantha wanted me to read you. I have, so yes, I have, here's my last 2 books. One is a poetry book, one is a self-help coaching book. And this is my next book.
Okay. Yeah.
It's all right here. One of these days, I just can't stop writing. I love writing. I love journaling. I love teaching journaling. I love having people learn how to express themselves. And so many times people are so afraid of their words. They're afraid to say things out loud. They're
Yes.
afraid to dive in deep. They're afraid to reconnect or connect maybe for the first time with themselves. And I work predominantly with mid-career women, but women of all ages, really. As a coach, as a lifestyle coach, also as a global dance teacher. I have a global dance company with beautiful, amazing certified teachers and master leaders around the globe, which I never thought would happen 40 years ago. But when you find your calling, when you find the thing that rings your bells, when you find the thing that rips your heart out,
Mhm.
find the way to express yourself. And for me, I'm a manifesting generator in human design. Imagine that. Um, uh, to be able to share that, to be able to teach that, to be able to empower others. That's my gift. That's my inspiration. That's my passion, because everyone needs to step up. Everybody needs to shine. Everybody needs to show their gifts and share their gifts. And so I'm kind of going all over the board here, but so movement, momentum, and magic is really how I feel that we grow and expand. So movement, let's talk about movement, right? Should I read this poem?
I would love for you to read that poem.
Okay. It's called Barefoot Visionary.
Oh, okay. I'm already there.
Dance is my life. I circle around and around, spiraling up, winding my way back down as I revel in my bounty, the bounty of beauty, laughter, tears, textures, and layers. I am a maker of magic. I am a barefoot visionary. Idyllic visions of unity, of bringing women of the world together. Forget that. My feet dance barefoot around the world, paving the way for enlightenment. Not tiptoeing, but breaking ground, stomping with grace and reverence. Communities bond as more feet join in, cultures colliding, colored and fused, merging and joining the collective souls. The wise ones, the young ones, the mothers, the daughters, nourishing the elements within and without. Magic is created in the growing circle of dancing feet. You are a maker of magic, carrying the legacy, continuing to build without walls and create another circle, as now all can revel in the bounty.
Mm. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. I feel
Thank
like,
you.
especially women, we need connection. We need community. We need a circle. And as I've always said, everyone is welcome in that circle. We need everybody in the circle. You know, there's no hierarchy. There's no ego. There's no levels of wisdom, because we need all of it, right? And to move the body creates energy. So yeah, to move the body. And so many women are afraid to move their bodies, especially as they have gotten older. I see this so often. Now, my particular style of movement over the last 35 years or so is tribal belly dance, which
Yes.
is honoring the feminine divine, honoring the circle of women. And it's not that solo dance. It's not, it's about creating community, about dancing together, about connecting with the eyes, with the heart, with the soul, and with the body. Now
And
that
can I just say
yeah,
something?
yeah.
This is following exactly what you just said. It's about connecting with the eyes and the heart and the soul. And I can see that because I've watched videos. I've never been to any of your performances, but I've watched multiple videos when I was cyber stalking you. And that's what I saw. And knowing that you were and are the teacher, that you are a master, and that you're regarded as such around the world. The hairs are standing up all over my body as I'm saying this because it's really truthful, is what I saw was exactly what you said. There was, when you're on with your troupe, it's not hierarchical. I see you, your eyes are in the eyes and their eyes are in your eyes, and I see the soul connection, and I see the way that your bodies follow that, and are in conversation with each other. It is just beautiful to watch. And it's a very specific style of dancing, which is wonderful. But because of exactly what you're talking about, that connection through the eyes, through the soul, through the heart, whatever style of dance you were doing would be enriched and enlivened by exactly what you're talking about. It's beautiful to witness. I could almost cry just even speaking about it. And I'm thinking maybe it would be sweet to close this piece of the conversation, maybe with a video clip of exactly that, because it's such a beautiful thing to witness. And I can only imagine what it must feel like for the women with whom you dance.
Well, and I think that's the thing. I think that's the thing about movement. Again, it doesn't matter what particular style. Right? I mean, it can be yoga, it can be lifting weights at the gym, it can be ecstatic dance, it can be salsa. It doesn't matter what rocks your boat. What makes you feel alive? What makes you connect with yourself?
Yes.
And that's one of the first things, even in my classes, it's like you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're like, this is my body.
Yeah, which can be scary for people.
It's my
temple. Yeah, it's a great invitation, and it sounds a lot easier than it is for a lot of us.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, yeah. And I've seen women who wouldn't, bare their belly for the world, and then later they're like, "Yeah, here I am." Like, bam.
Yeah.
It's powerful, but it's everybody, we're all here. We're all here. And to love ourselves and to witness ourselves and to let ourselves grow, right? To let ourselves reconnect with ourselves. What brings us pleasure and how do we want to feel?
Okay, well, let's turn that around. Paulette, what brings you pleasure and how do you want to feel? And how do you get there personally, just for you?
So, I mean, the answer is pretty basic.
Okay.
I want to feel good. I want
And
to
say more about what good means to you. Let me hear
I want to
more.
feel freaking great. I want to feel connected in my body. I don't
Okay.
want to feel disassociated. I
Okay.
don't want to feel like I'm a head. I don't want to feel like I'm just a heart. I want to feel everything. And that's
Yes.
what's so important about the work I do, is embodying all the things. Right. So I want to feel pleasure. I want to feel joy. I want to feel curiosity. I want to feel good. I want my body to work. And that takes work sometimes, quote unquote. I go to the gym, I walk and run every morning. I love to dance. I love to lift weights. That's not everybody's thing. I teach yoga and I teach dance. And I'm 66. I'm not stopping, you know, and I'm not going to sit on the couch because this body is meant to move. And the movement raises my energy. And we'll talk about the momentum and the magic later, but
Yes, we will.
It raises my energy and I want to feel good.
So, is there any particular kind of movement that you personally find nurtures you the most?
Ooh, wow. Oh my gosh. I mean, I've been a dancer since I was 7, so all kinds of movement. I love country line dancing. I mean, I love yoga. I love my belly dancing. I love dancing with other women in circle. I love doing moving meditations. I love running by myself every morning. Well, with my dog.
Well, with Rosie, yeah.
My Rosie dog. And who's under the couch back there somewhere? It all feeds me in a different way. And there's definitely like My running and walking every morning is non-negotiable.
Uh,
It's got to happen. Because if it doesn't happen, I don't become alive. And I want to feel alive.
yeah. So for people, I assume that some of the people who are listening to this will be people who are like me, for whom uh, movement it's difficult. Freeze has been a strategy, a survival strategy, and it's difficult. It's always been difficult for me. It's something that I've consistently worked at, but it's always been difficult for me.
Why is it
So
difficult?
what would you say to someone who loves what they're hearing from you, who has this sense of yes, yes, that's true, I can feel the truth of that, but how do I do it? How do I get myself out of a pattern of freeze or stillness or stagnation, physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever? How do I get from that to what you're speaking about?
Yeah. So, I mean, and that's a very, very typical thing for people who've actually let themselves, um, they've gotten busy, they've raised families, or they've been in their job, and they haven't allowed themselves to find that pleasure or to try something new.
Yes.
It can be something so simple. I mean, I would say get outside first thing in the morning. I don't care if it's raining or snowing, or 100 degrees. Get freaking outside.
Mm.
I don't care if you walk around the block for 5 minutes or you take a mile hike. Get outside and look at the beauty around you
Mm.
and feel the gratitude for your life. I mean, it can start with 5 minutes, seriously, and just put it on your calendar.
Aha. Okay. Now say more
Now,
about that.
now we can talk in strategy.
Yeah. Now
This
say
is
more
what I
about
do.
that.
This is what I do as a coach. I
Yeah.
help
Loving
you
it.
find a strategy with beautiful feminine qualities. Honoring yourself. We're not going after the masculine. You're not going to go pump 300 pounds. That's not what we're talking about. But to be able to honor yourself and strategize is so important. And I know it's just not very sexy sounding. And I'm a rebel. I mean, I've fought, you know, calendaring things all my life and it doesn't work. It doesn't always work. Um, because, okay, so I won't get into it today, but I have this thing called making your map, your magic action plan. So if you put walking every morning, walking, running, biking, getting outside. I'm a nature fanatic. There's nothing that makes me feel better than sitting outside on a big rock in the desert or whatever. And think about what the purpose is. Here, you got your action. You got your action. What's the outcome is to raise your energy, to awaken yourself to your day. I mean, you
Mhm.
have a million different reasons, right? But the purpose is to feel good, to set yourself up for success, to set yourself up, to set your day up, to feel good throughout your day. I mean, it's a pretty simple strategy. Outcome, action, outcome, purpose.
And how easy is it for you to follow that on a daily basis?
Well, I'm a little crazy, so it's not always easy.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I mean, I'm a multi-passionate woman and I want to do a lot of things. But if I don't write them down, if I don't plan, I won't get anything done. I'd be all over the board. I just, I
Yeah.
mean, how do you set your day up?
I do not.
And do you get
And,
your things
and
done?
and I see the results of it. I don't set up my day. I I uh, I talk I speak of the metaphor for how I live is I'm a cork bobbing along in a stream, and I bob along where the stream takes me. Um, and one of the things that I thrill to with as I follow you and your career is your ability to take idea and passion and energy, turn it into action, and measure results. And that is just, it's a thrilling thing to me. But I sometimes feel like I'm watching a TV show that's being broadcast from an alien planet.
Well, if you don't know why you want to do something, I mean, it's really is like why. And I say this all the time. It's like I'm going to sound like your 2-year-old. Why? 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 Why do you want to do that thing? Do you still really want to do that thing? It might have been something you wanted to do 10 years ago and you're still thinking about it and it doesn't even mean anything anymore
Yeah,
because we
really
grow
good
and
point.
we change and we evolve.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. I love that question. And I think that is seminal to being able to take action, is having that inner dialogue with yourself that is honest enough and vulnerable enough to be able to really tell yourself the truth about why I want to do this, or why, or do I want to do it?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Do I want to do it?
because
Yeah.
then you connect with purpose.
Yes, exactly right.
And yeah, I think that's a really beautiful point, and such a gorgeous question.
So here's a
Yeah.
really simple example. My action is to go to the grocery store. What's the outcome? I've got food in my refrigerator.
Yeah.
What's the purpose? To nourish myself. Maybe it's to feed my family, but what what does food do? It nourishes yourself.
Yeah, and we could do a whole, segment on you and food, because
I know. Well,
that's been another consistent thing that I've seen of you when I knew you back in the day, and now that you feed people. You've always fed people, and you've always fed us well with healthy, nourishing food. And I could always feel when I would eat food from you, and I'd say, "Oh, how did you make this?" And I'd go home and I'd make it. It was never exactly the same, because it was missing the Paulette juju. And I see that that is another beautiful thing that's been consistent with you. And I love the way that you gave this example, because we all got to go to the grocery store,
yeah,
right?
we all got to eat.
It's a great little practice for maybe applying to bigger things, like, oh, am I going to finish that manuscript? And to apply that same template of
I'm
questioning and
gonna finish this book.
responding. Yeah, I'm going to finish this book. It's a great way to break it down into something small and relatable, and practice that, as opposed to maybe starting to practice on the big things
Oh
that
yeah,
might
yeah, yeah, yeah.
have resistance to having the real answers to,
But
because it just
we
feels
can
too
get into
big.
overwhelm so fast.
I sure do.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. I do too.
And how do you jump yourself out of it?
But sometimes it's really hard. You got to go back to the map. You got to prioritize and you got to delegate. So us women fall into this thing of this invisible workload. We're trying to take care of everybody, trying to take care of the house or the bills or the dog or the family. And it's like, I'm not going to clean my house. I mean, everybody has jobs in this world. Everybody has their specialty.
Yes.
It's really important. And it's really important for us women to acknowledge that, because we can't do everything. And there's other people that can do things that will help us step into our zone of genius even better, where we could actually make more money and have more freedom instead of trying to do it all. I mean,
Yeah, that's
I've
a
been
real
Wonder
good
Woman
point.
for years. Stop that.
Yeah, it's a really good point. I love services. I
Oh,
just love services. I so appreciate any service that anyone does for me, to take something that frankly is just heinous
yeah,
to me. But there are people who like doing the taxes.
absolutely that. I just hired a new bookkeeper and she's so hilarious. And she's like, she's asking me these questions, and I'm like, I don't fucking understand how to do this. And she goes, I do, and I love
Yeah,
it. And I'm like,
yeah,
you go,
yeah.
girl, you do
Isn't it
it,
great?
you know?
Yeah,
And she's like, I love
yeah.
this. And I'm like, okay, you know?
And then you get to have that energetic exchange of, I appreciate you for what you bring to the world. I don't bring that, but I appreciate that you bring it. And then that exchange of, I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to do your taxes and your bookkeeping so that you can do the things that you do, that you're
Exactly right.
built to do, that you were
Exactly right.
designed to do.
Yeah, yeah. I
This is
think
a
that's
thought
so
that suits me, is that I'm becoming increasingly aware that I I am designed to do certain things and not other things, and that my inability to do those other things is not a character flaw. I wasn't designed for it.
that's
Um,
right. That's
Very
right.
helpful.
That's right. Absolutely right. You were not designed to do it all. You have you have a superpower.
So, what do you think is your superpower? What would you say? You don't have to just have one. You could have
I have several.
15. You could have
I
as
actually
many.
I did a rant. I did this rant the other day. I didn't know if I was going to read it today or
I
not.
want to know.
But my superpowers are support,
Okay.
wisdom. I've lived a big life,
Yes.
integrity,
Yes.
artistic integrity, creativity, creative thinking, and enthusiasm.
Yes.
I love to get you excited. I love to empower you. Or I can't empower you. I love to give you the tools to empower yourself. I should say it that way.
Yes. Yes. And would you also say that one of your superpowers might be appreciation?
Mhm. I love that. I have no ego. I have no competitive, you know, God, we're all here. We're all here. Let's do this together.
Yeah, I think that is one of the sweetest things that I see about you as a human and as a teacher, how you have such a, it seems innate. I don't know if it's innate or learned, but you have such an understanding of this thing that people talk about and give seminars about and think is this like big new thing of, oh, we need community. And you've been someone I've observed who has just understood that
Mhm.
in a very cellular way, like forever.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I think about that. So I think about when I was in junior high, all my friends were guys. When I was high school, I was a freak. I mean, I was like one of those weirdos. I didn't fit in with anybody, but I had a lot of friends. And then, and then I was in rock and roll bands. I was the only girl.
Yeah,
I was in a world
that's a
of men.
girl I met.
Right? Yeah, right. I was in a world of men, and it was fine. I was great. I loved it. I didn't have any problem with that. Uh, and then I stepped into the belly dance world.
Hmm.
All women. And I saw how women didn't know how to be friends with other women.
Ah.
I saw how women had to compete with other women or compared themselves to other women. I'm like, no. Come on, baby. This is one big happy circle here. Love yourself. Look in the mirror, you
Mm.
know, and I would say compliment somebody today. And one of the things, and I actually wrote about this in my book, but I'll never forget this. This was huge. A friend of mine, one of my students, was walking down the street and she saw this beautiful woman. They were downtown, and this was in Portland. This weather woman was walking past her and she said, "Oh my God, you are so beautiful." And the woman looked at her and said, "I am just a reflection of you."
Mm. Wow. Ooh.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how easy it is to look at somebody and go, "Wow, you look great," or "I love your dress," or, you know, "I love your energy," or "I love your shoes," or, "I'm so happy to be here with you." And how that can light you up and light the other person up.
Yeah. And I experience this quite frequently in my little community. I am blessed to be in a very small but community of women who are, as you described, we're here to lift each other. Her success is my joy.
Mhm.
Her
Yes.
her beauty is my joy. And it's something that, to me, can't we even just transform the world with this little thing here?
Mhm.
I mean, it seems like a little thing, but I really believe that, speaking of movement, that the movement of that energy, that appreciation, that seeing
See, movement,
moves
right?
out.
Movement.
It moves, it goes, it creates little, and my hairs are standing up all over again. Creates like little mesons of energy that go out. Like maybe that's what fairies are. Just goes out and twinkles around and offers the possibility of transformation.
To be a possibilitarian.
I love that. Yeah, possibilitarian. Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah. Oh, wonderful.
Whew.
Well, I'm feeling energetically and movement wise like we're coming to a completion for this piece. What else would you like to say on the
I,
topic of
I,
this
I
movement?
love this. I mean, I know that we could talk for a million years.
Yes, we could
But again, like I suggested, is make a move.
make a move.
Make a move. Doesn't have to be big. Move your body, move your energy. Create a new path of life within yourself, your breath, your body, and acknowledge who you are. We're all beautiful. Yes, there's always room for growth and expansion. Thank God. I'm never going to stop. Never stop. But um, feed yourself, feed your heart, feed your body, feed your soul, and make a move. Bam.
Yeah, and I think movement is food. I remember my uh, physical therapist, after I had a catastrophic accident trying to save a baby bird. Um, my physical therapist said to me, "Motion is lotion."
Oh, I love that.
And hearing you talk, I think that motion and movement are food. It's nourishment is how I'm
Absolutely.
hearing it from hearing you talk. Yeah, and I love having that thought in my mind to take away from our little conversation here today. That I love that thought.
So good. All right, my friends.
So thank you.
We'll see how this conversation develops. I'm so happy to be here with Samantha today. and share this conversation with you, which is just so beautiful. And thank you for your beautiful meditation at the beginning.
Well,
So
thank you for spending time with me. It is my absolute pleasure. And I'm going to go outside and move my hips.
there you go. There you go. All right, my friends, until we meet again, many blessings.
Bye for now.